Welcome to another episode of Daily Gym. Last week I talked about how to influence or change somebody's behavior for their own good. And in today's video I want to develop on that idea and teach you or explain to you a technique that can increase the likelihood of success. At a minimum, it will make the person feel even better or more positive about themselves. To give a quick recap of last week's video, in which I explained or which I illustrated that instead of giving feedback or criticism to somebody and tell them to change certain actions or behavior, instead create a situation in which they have no choice but to exhibit that kind of action that you hope they would exhibit over and over and over again. And once they've exhibited in that situation, you then give them a compliment or positive confirmation or affirmation. Because this way the person will start associating the action, the new action, with a positive reward, even if it's just a verbal thank you. In today's video, what I want to say is that to make the technique even stronger, instead of you telling directly to the person that they did a good job or complimenting them, instead say that you heard from somebody that they respect, whether it's a colleague of theirs, whether it's a manager of theirs, whether it's your manager, whoever they respect, that they notice your new action or your new behavior and they were very much in awe, or they give some kind of compliment. This is even more effective than if you yourself directly tell them you did a really good job. You can try it for yourself, any kind of situation in which your manager or a colleague was talking with you and somebody that you respect or somebody that you view as an authoritative figure, the person you're talking with drops that name and says that person said good things about you or your work. You will immediately feel better than even if the person you were talking with said those good things about you. And I think the reason for that has to do with social proof, or the need or longing of a human being to be a part of a group. We never want to be alone, and we always want to be accepted by the herd or by the crowd, whether that's our family, the people that we work with, our country, we can be part of many different groups at the same time, but we always want to feel part of a certain group. So when the person you're talking with mentions that somebody else talked about you, what this creates is that you get the feeling that you've been accepted by the group, because they're not only talking to you directly, but even when you're not present, they are talking about you. And in this case, it was in a positive light, so that you're even starting to feel better or special about yourself, because you're almost feeling like you're on top of the group for just a single moment, because you were the topic of conversation, not as part of a small team, but you yourself as a unique individual were part of that conversation. Of course, the more authoritative the figure seems in the eyes of the recipient of this conversation or this news, the more effect it actually has, because you want to be associated with people that seem stronger or more important or bigger in life or in a particular group than people that are at the lower ends. So the bigger the person seems, the more weight you associate to that kind of conversation having taken place, whether it actually has taken place or not. Of course, if you later find out that it was all fake, the damage can be twofold or even more. But at least if it's true, if it really happened, or if you're using it in a certain way, as a manager, you can really give the person a very positive feeling and really start to trigger that positive feedback loop of this action is associated with this kind of reward. That's all I have to say for today's video. I hope it's useful, and perhaps if you've noticed this in your own life or your own career, do leave a message below. I would love to hear more stories like this. And as always, I'm back with another video tomorrow. So have a nice day, everybody.